October 7, 2024, News Report 1. On October 7, 2024, the Chinese Ministry of Foreign Affairs announced on its official website through a Q&A format that U.S. President Joe Biden congratulated the Communist Party of China on its 75th anniversary. A reporter asked, "Many political leaders and heads of international organizations have called or written to Chinese President Xi Jinping to congratulate him on the 75th anniversary of the founding of the People's Republic of China. Did President Biden also extend his congratulations to the Chinese side?" The ministry's spokesperson responded that President Biden recently called President Xi to congratulate him on the 75th anniversary of the People's Republic of China. In his congratulatory message, President Biden stated, "On the occasion of the 75th anniversary of the People's Republic of China, I would like to express my congratulations on behalf of the American people to you and the Chinese people, and extend my best wishes." Earlier, media reports sparked public attention. On October 2, the South China Morning Post reported that the U.S. State Department did not issue a congratulatory statement regarding China's National Day as it had in previous years before October 1. However, on the same day the report was published, the U.S. State Department promptly released a congratulatory statement expressing congratulations to the Chinese people on National Day. This incident has drawn external attention and discussion. Although the Chinese Ministry of Foreign Affairs mentioned President Biden's congratulatory message, the White House has not publicly issued any related statements. Currently, only the U.S. State Department has released an official congratulatory statement, while the White House's situation regarding the congratulatory message remains undisclosed, leading to further speculation and discussion. News Report 2. October 6 marks the 75th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations between China and North Korea. According to Xinhua News Agency, Chinese President Xi Jinping and North Korean leader Kim Jong-un exchanged congratulatory messages. In his message, Xi expressed that China highly values the friendly relationship with North Korea. The Korean Central News Agency reported that Kim mentioned in his message that North Korea will continue to work to consolidate and develop the friendly cooperative relationship with China in accordance with the demands of the new era. Despite the exchange of congratulatory messages between the two leaders, it is apparent from the official statements that the relationship between the two countries seems somewhat distant. The language in the messages largely consists of official wording, and while the relationship is framed at a high level, there is a noticeable lack of warmth. Analysts believe that the coolness in China-North Korea relations is related to Russian President Vladimir Putin's visit to North Korea in June this year. During that visit, Putin and Kim signed a strategic partnership agreement involving mutual defense, which has quasi-military cooperation implications. This move may have intensified the estrangement between China and North Korea. 2024 is designated as a year of friendship between China and North Korea, but thus far, high-level exchanges between the two countries have not been frequent. Apart from Zhao Leji, vice chairman of the Standing Committee of the National People's Congress of China, visiting North Korea in April this year, other high-level interactions have been quite rare. This contrasts sharply with the first year of friendship between China and North Korea in 2009 when the two countries' prime ministers visited each other, and 68 delegations at the vice-ministerial level exchanged visits. This year, the interactions between the two countries appear rather sparse, reflecting the coolness in their relationship. News Report 3. October 4 marks the one-year anniversary of Hamas's attack on Israel. According to the Deutsche Presse, the Israeli military summarized the battle conditions over the past year. Data shows that Israel has bombed a total of 40,000 targets in the Gaza Strip, discovered 4,700 tunnels, and destroyed more than 1,000 rocket launch sites. The Israeli military has also killed 8 brigade commanders, 30 battalion commanders, and 165 company commanders from Gaza. Furthermore, in the West Bank and Jordan Valley, Israel has arrested over 5,000 suspects. The Israeli military revealed that over the past year, a total of 726 Israeli soldiers have died, including 380 who were killed on the day of the Hamas attack, and 346 who died in subsequent battles with Hamas. Additionally, 4,576 soldiers were injured. In response to the conflict, Israel has called up over 300,000 reservists, with 82% being male and 18% female, primarily aged between 20 and 29. According to Israeli military statistics, since the outbreak of the conflict, Hamas has launched 13,200 rockets from Gaza toward Israel, while Lebanese groups fired 12,400 rockets, Iran launched 400, Yemen fired 180, and Syria launched 60. Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu stated that Israel currently faces threats from 7 directions, including Hamas, the Hezbollah in Lebanon, the Houthis in Yemen, terrorist organizations in the West Bank, as well as Shia militias from Iraq and Syria, all of which are linked to Iran. In Gaza, 3 Israeli divisions are currently stationed in southern communities and border areas, tasked with destroying the infrastructure of terrorist organizations, particularly the tunnel systems. Additionally, on October 6, Israel launched its most intense airstrikes in years against the capital of Lebanon, Beirut, primarily targeting Hezbollah's weapon depots and infrastructure. Reports indicate that 2 large weapon depots were destroyed, and explosions reverberated throughout the city. Meanwhile, Hezbollah launched rockets on October 6 that penetrated Israel's air defense system, hitting Haifa, Israel's third-largest city, injuring 10 people. This marked the first time since the conflict began that rockets struck Haifa. On October 6, Prime Minister Netanyahu inspected the Israel-Lebanon border, stating that over the past 12 months, Israel has successfully reversed the situation, delivering powerful strikes against its enemies and showcasing its military strength, impressing the international community. He emphasized that the Israeli army will continue to defeat all enemies threatening national security. Israeli Defense Minister Gallant stated during an inspection of an Air Force base that if the Iranian government attempts to harm Israel, it will face the same fate as Gaza or Lebanon. He warned that Israel will demonstrate its powerful military capabilities at a time, place, and manner of its choosing. Despite the current tense situation, Iranian Foreign Minister Amir Abdollahian visited Beirut, Lebanon, on October 4, and during a press conference stated that Iran has no intention of continuing missile attacks on Israel, conveying the message of "enough is enough." However, analysts believe that, given Israel's style, Iran's attacks are likely to provoke retaliation. The core issue remains whether Iran's nuclear facilities will become the next target of Israeli strikes. News Report 4. The Wall Street Journal reported that Chinese hacker Yan Taifeng has been accused of infiltrating American telecommunications companies, including Verizon, AT&T, and Lumen. This attack lasted several months, aiming to obtain sensitive information from U.S. government surveillance systems or conduct cyber attacks. Information disclosed by U.S. authorities shows that Yan Taifeng and his team conducted extensive infiltration of American cyber infrastructure and obtained a large amount of data. The U.S. government stated that last month, it thwarted the cyber attack by the Chinese hacker group Amazon Typhoon, which had infiltrated over 200,000 American computers. Additionally, back in February of this year, the U.S. announced it had prevented the Chinese hacker group for Typhoon from launching covert attacks on U.S. communications, transportation, and water infrastructure. U.S. officials indicated that such attacks are tantamount to acts of war against another country. News Report 5. According to Nikkei News, the Japanese Ministry of Economy, Trade and Industry has released data indicating that in the second quarter of this year, investments by Japanese companies overseas saw Europe account for 13.8% of the total, a year-on-year increase of 1 percentage point. In contrast, investments in China and Hong Kong dropped to 13.6%, a decrease of 16 percentage points compared to the previous year. This marks the first time in 8 years that Japan's investment proportion in China and Hong Kong has fallen below that of Europe. Meanwhile, North America remains the preferred destination for Japanese corporate investment, accounting for 37% in the second quarter, a year-on-year increase of 10 percentage points. Although China remains Japan's second-largest export destination and largest source of imports, the priority of Japanese companies for investing in China is decreasing. The main reason is that many Japanese automotive companies are gradually withdrawing from the Chinese market. This is closely related to the situation regarding foreign investment inflows into China. According to data from the State Administration of Foreign Exchange, China experienced a negative foreign direct investment, FDI, of $14.8 billion in the second quarter of this year, indicating that foreign capital is flowing out of China. This is the second occurrence of negative FDI growth since records began in 1998. Furthermore, data from the Ministry of Commerce shows that the amount of actual utilized foreign capital in China decreased by 29.6% year-on-year in the first 7 months of this year. News Report 6. According to Radio France Internationale, Hong Kong's Director of Immigration, Oh Ka-wang, stated on October 5 that there is indeed an entry blacklist in Hong Kong aimed at individuals whose intentions are suspicious and who pose a high risk to Hong Kong. In the first 9 months of this year, 23,500 people were denied entry, surpassing last year's total of 23,100. Oh also revealed that since September, over 100 airlines have cooperated with the Hong Kong government to report passenger data to the Immigration Department before boarding, enabling real-time denial of entry to certain individuals. Hong Kong's entry restrictions are being strengthened, resembling the entry control measures on the mainland. On the other hand, Radio Free Asia reported that the Hong Kong police have requested internet service providers to block the website, Water Magazine, founded by exiled Hong Kong residents. The website, established in January 2021, primarily reports on news related to Hong Kong and exiled communities. In September of this year, service providers received a letter from the Hong Kong police accusing the website of violating the Hong Kong national security law and requesting the blocking of its access routes. On October 5, the Hong Kong government officially blocked the Water Magazine website, making it inaccessible through regular channels, with users needing to bypass censorship to view it. Zhang Kenyang, the editor-in-chief of Water Magazine, stated that the Hong Kong government's actions severely undermine freedom of speech, but he emphasized that they would not be intimidated. This action has also raised concerns about the future of internet freedom in Hong Kong, with many believing that Hong Kong may gradually move towards a comprehensive internet blockade similar to that of mainland China, blocking more websites that do not align with government positions. News Report 7. Voice of America reported that South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol and Philippine President Ferdinand Marcos held talks in Manila on October 7, announcing the elevation of their bilateral relationship to a strategic partnership and committing to comprehensive cooperation across various fields, including a Coast Guard project and the rehabilitation of the Philippines' nuclear power plant. This marks the first state visit by a South Korean president to the Philippines in over a decade and represents the first new positioning of their national relationship since the two countries established diplomatic ties 49 years ago. During the talks, Yoon and Marcos discussed the situation in the South China Sea and issues concerning the Korean Peninsula, agreeing to maintain an order based on international rules, particularly regarding navigation safety in the South China Sea. After the meeting, Yoon stated that the South China Sea situation is increasingly tense, and South Korea will actively participate in the Philippines' military modernization projects, with South Korean forces also set to take part in military exercises in the Philippines. Marcos pointed out that given the current complex geopolitical environment, the Philippines and South Korea must strengthen cooperation to achieve shared prosperity and adhere to the South China Sea arbitration, thus maintaining international order. South Korea has strong capabilities in the military-industrial sector, and South Korean defense companies can provide the necessary weapons and equipment to the Philippines, which is crucial for enhancing the country's defense capabilities. This meeting marks a further deepening of cooperation between the two countries in defense, security, and economic collaboration, with South Korea beginning to take a more active role in the South China Sea issue. News Report 8. According to the Lutheran Social Services, on October 6, a convoy of Chinese construction workers was attacked by an explosion near Karachi International Airport in Pakistan, resulting in the deaths of 2 Chinese nationals and injuries to several others, including 1 Chinese person. The incident occurred around 11 p.m. when the convoy had just departed from Karachi Airport and passed by a fuel tanker when the explosion happened. The target of the attack was a coal-fired power plant located at Qasim Port, which is a joint venture between the China Power Construction Group and Qatar's Milcap Group. It is a project under the Belt and Road Initiative that started operations in 2017, with Chinese stakeholders holding 51%. On October 7, the Baloch Liberation Army in Pakistan claimed responsibility for the attack. The Baloch Liberation Army frequently targets Chinese projects in Pakistan, mainly because local residents believe Chinese companies are plundering Pakistan's natural resources, especially mineral resources. Similar attacks have occurred multiple times in recent years. For example, in March of this year, 3 attacks on Chinese-funded projects happened within a week, including a suicide bombing at the Desu hydropower station, constructed by the China Gezhouba Group, which resulted in the deaths of 5 Chinese workers and led to the project's suspension to this day. This series of attacks indicates that China's Belt and Road projects in Pakistan face severe security challenges, and the local social and political situation poses a continuous threat to these infrastructure projects. News Report 9. According to Kyodo News, on October 5, the Tokyo Metropolitan Police arrested a Chinese tourist named Zhang Weisheng at Fukuoka Airport, accusing him of committing an indecent act against a Japanese woman in her 20s in the Asakusa area of Tokyo on June 9. Reports state that Zhang pretended to tell the woman that there was a bug on her, and then took the opportunity to reach into her clothing to commit the indecent act. After the incident, Zhang left Japan the next day. The arrest occurred when Zhang re-entered Japan. The police apprehended him at Fukuoka Airport after learning of his re-entry. Zhang claimed to be a construction worker but stated he had no memory of the incident. A similar incident occurred last year when another Chinese man allegedly sexually assaulted a Japanese woman while traveling with his wife in Japan, committing the act in a restroom, and was subsequently arrested. News Report 10. According to a report from the Central Commission for Discipline Inspection on October 7, Tang Yijuan, former chairman of the Jiangxi Provincial Political Consultative Conference, has been expelled from the Communist Party. This follows the downfall of former Justice Minister Fu Zhenghua, marking another high-ranking official closely associated with Xi Jinping being taken down. Tang Yijuan is 63 years old and had worked in Zhejiang for a long time, being considered one of the cadres she brought from Zhejiang, despite having no direct interaction with Xi early on. Tang was appointed chairman of the Ningbo Municipal Political Consultative Conference in February 2011, entering the second tier, but began to gain prominence in 2016, 4 years after she came to power. He successively served as mayor of Ningbo and vice secretary of the Zhejiang Provincial Committee. He was later transferred to serve as governor of Liaoning Province in 2017 and replaced Fu Zhenghua as Minister of Justice in 2020, concurrently serving as a member of the Central Political and Legal Affairs Commission. However, at the 20th National Congress of the Communist Party in 2022, Tang was not re-elected and was subsequently assigned to Jiangxi as chairman of the Political Consultative Conference. On March 28 of this year, Tang was taken away for investigation. The CCDI's report listed multiple charges against Tang, including bribery, interference in judicial activities, interference in market economic activities, and accepting huge amounts of money. This case once again exposes corruption within Xi Jinping's inner circle. Despite their close relationship with Xi, these officials are still unable to avoid scrutiny and punishment. News Report 11. According to the New Island Daily, Lin Shinkue, the director of the Fujian Provincial Medical Insurance Bureau, fell to his death from his home in a restaurant on October 2, and the specific cause has yet to be announced. Video footage showed a blue cloth covering the body, with people nearby crying and several police officers guarding the scene. Lin's last public appearance was on September 29 when he participated in a recitation event organized by the Fujian Provincial Cyberspace Administration and the Medical Insurance Bureau. Lin Shinkue was 59 years old and had worked in the Fujian health system for a long time, previously serving as deputy director of the Fujian Provincial Health and Family Planning Commission and vice president of the Fujian Red Cross. He has been the director of the Fujian Provincial Medical Insurance Bureau since 2020. Recently, similar falling incidents have frequently occurred among Chinese officials. On September 19, Lu Wenjie, director of the Hunan Provincial Finance Department, also fell to his death at home, while the investigation results of other similar cases have yet to be disclosed. The sudden deaths of these officials have raised widespread attention and speculation, but so far, the Chinese government has not provided clear conclusions regarding these cases. News Report 12. On October 7, the Nobel Committee announced that the 2023 Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine was awarded to American scientists Dr. Drew Weissman and Dr. Katalin Karikó for their groundbreaking work in messenger RNA, mRNA, technology. This research provides new perspectives on gene regulation and demonstrates the importance of mRNA in biological development and function. Dr. Weissman is a professor of natural sciences at the University of Massachusetts Medical School, while Dr. Karikó is a professor of genetics at Harvard Medical School. The two scientists will share a prize of 11 million Swedish kronor, approximately $1 million. The Nobel Committee will also announce other awards throughout the week, including the Nobel Prizes in Physics, Chemistry, Literature, and Peace, while the Economics Prize will be announced on October 14. The awarding of these prizes continues to emphasize the importance of scientific research and the humanities in promoting social progress and development.